Welcome to today's tutorial. We're going to be painting a vibrant sunset using oil paint. The colours from top left to right are titanium white, lemon yellow, yellow ochre, cadmium red, crimson alizarin and permanent mauve. On the third row, cerulean blue, French ultramarine and primary cyan. Using a large silicone tool, I'm starting with some white, some primary cyan and a tiny bit of crimson alizarin and mixing it all together. I've painted a background colour before I started painting. For more information about background colours, see the video in the link above. Adding a touch more crimson, I've drawn a horizontal line. The line is a bit below halfway, and we'll start by applying some of this dark colour above the line, and I'll try and mirror this a little on the other side. I'm using the flat part of the chisel tool and going up and down. If you don't have a chisel tool, a normal flat paintbrush will do. Adding some more crimson, and this is going to blend above. I'm working upwards now. I usually work downwards in a painting. And the same on the other side. It won't be perfectly symmetrical because that isn't natural. A little more cyan. Adding some white, it helps to lighten the colour moving upwards, and it also helps to blend it at the same time. These little strokes allow for some variation in the tone and the colour. And as we move upwards, because it's getting lighter, it provides contrast with the dark line of the horizon. And also when we add the sea later, you'll see that the sea is much lighter in colour than the horizontal line of the sky. So making it darker by adding extra cyan and permanent mauve. And because the edge of the tool is quite narrow, I can go sideways quite easily. You can move sideways with a paintbrush, but you need to be careful of the bristles. Adding more crimson and mauve, I want to ensure that the canvas is covered, especially on the sky. some more white for blending and to lighten it. It's quite therapeutic, and watching it back again. Some extra white down here. This will be covered soon by more colour. Now it might seem like this is taking a while, but it's really quite a quick painting, and it's going to be very colourful. So it might be something that you want to hang on your wall or to give to somebody as a gift. I'm adding some white again. More on the left-hand side. Adding some permanent mauve, some crimson too, and covering the white. And you can see the shape of this colour all together. It's like a big curve. So we're stroking downwards and moving sideways at the same time. I've mixed in some cyan again to make the bottom darker, and this is all about the contrast that we talked about earlier. up the left hand side with some mauve and white. And similarly on the right. Now making a very pink colour by adding some more crimson and white. A lot more crimson this time. Some random patches of permanent mauve. Now I'm making a similar effect on the left too, and adding crimson and white. Some small differences in the amount of colour that I've put on, but I'll still colour the background colour beneath. This really does allow the highlights to stand out so that you can see where you've painted. I'm going to be making a smaller and smaller gap in the middle, and that's where I'll paint the sun. The sky is going to be fringed by a vibrant blue at the top, and I'm using primary cyan mixed with white to create a fringe effect. Sometimes you have to make a bold move, and this is one of those times, in painting anyway. Extra white to lighten it and to blend with the colour below. Because I'm going to use yellow and orange, I don't want these colours to mix with the blue to make green, so it's okay to mix the blue and red together and the blue and white, but not the blue and yellow. So I've made a lighter pink colour here, and that's for the transition between the red and purple of the sky below and the blue at the top. It's like the transition between nighttime and daytime. And this lovely light pink colour is made using cadmium red and white. in the sky on the left in the same way. So I've added some of the light pink to the blue, some random strokes, and vice versa. Here I'm using lemon yellow and the cadmium red and white, and that's made more of an orange colour, and this is moving closer towards the sun in the centre of the painting. It's not quite in the centre, it's slightly off centre. So I'll just fill in this gap on the left. A slightly darker shade of orange with extra lemon yellow and extra red. And you can probably guess where the sun is going to go. And I'm using some of the darker colour going around the sun, and as we get closer to the sun itself it will get lighter. The sky's not too far from being finished. I'll do a bit more blending, but I need to add some more colour first. So I'm making this a richer orange by adding more red and crimson. And the same technique as before, a small amount of crimson alizarin added to it. I'll keep working my way around. The sun looks a bit of an odd shape, but I'll work on that later. And the reddy orange is like a halo effect. Crimson mixed with mauve and white. And I'm going to add some extra colour down here and spread it around. And we'll work up here too, blending in a few of the brush strokes. This is blending with the colour that's on the canvas already. I'm touching it quite lightly. Now that we've done most of the sky, I can add some colour for the sun. I'm using a smaller chisel tool to add some white to make a circle, and then we'll add some lemon yellow. Just a little, and a touch of yellow ochre. And this is going around the edge like a halo, and I'll spread it outwards. So you've got this lovely yellow effect going around the sun and blending with the orange and a little with the white of the sun. to start on the sea, and I'll start by adding some white mixed with the orange for the sun's reflection in the water. So we'll see where it's going to be, and then we'll add more colour for the waves. So the next colour I'm adding is some yellow ochre, and I'm stroking this sideways, and a bit of crimson, blending on the canvas as we go. Now some white to lighten it, and you can see what I meant about the contrast. This is much lighter than the sky on the horizon line. Now I'm stroking into the reflection, and I'm just going side to side to cover the water, adding some mauve and quite a lot more. Now some white. I'll be adding some cyan now. This is for the dark waves, the shadow. The crimson is for the reflection for some of the redder parts of the sky. And now I'm filling in on the left too, using the yellows and orange. Some more crimson. And then we'll mix it in a bit more. A little downward stroke or two, and then across. Now I'm switching to doing smaller strokes for the waves. And you can see it's blending in a little more. So the waves that I'm doing, it's like a little flick or curve. And I'm trying to keep them going the same way. A few white highlights on the waves for the reflection of the sun. A bit of extra cyan for the waves here. Now it's nearly finished. Not quite. A bit more colour to the top edge of the water below the horizon, and there you have it. Thank you for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I look forward to you joining me next time.